Greetings, dear friends. So, we have self-development techniques, harmony, and inner growth. But if you look at the world, who really needs it? Who needs these self-development practices, and what's the point of it all anyway? It's all complete nonsense. When you start to go deeper, to look even deeper, well, if a person has some level of awareness, an understanding of consciousness and can move and shift their thoughts a bit, then it seems to me that energetic movement really do occur within a person. That is, certain energies come into them, and they need to be expressed somehow. From the perspective of life as I see it, it seems to me that the potentials that enter a person as energy do not come in vain, but rather to be expressed through them in this world, specifically for some kind of work, in some sense in understanding and awareness. If a person doesn't do this work in any way, if they get stuck in their personal and professional affairs, bogged down, or something else, and they don't channel these energies through themselves in any way, don't give them an outlet into this world, don't express them, don't self-express along with them, then, accordingly, they kind of get stuck in them. These stuck energies are most often referred to as blockages, some kind of psycho-emotional traumas. Of course, we can rewind and see exactly where this then happened in the person. That is to say, there was indeed some kind of traumatic experience in him. I don't know if it was physical trauma, psychological trauma, or maybe someone offended him somehow, something else entirely, and in this process, some change occurred within his body-mind, within some aspect of his field structure. Accordingly then, this person can no longer not react a certain way to similar situations. That means something inside him constantly declares itself as some kind of unexpressed, energetic movement. Accordingly, if a person still cannot resolve it, of course, the universe and life help. By creating situational series, constantly generating the same situation for the person so that they can somehow resolve their internal problem, expressed himself or somehow managed to understand and re-understand why something happened there last time or in some other way. But if a person does nothing at all over time, each cycle creates more and more pressure, gradually, over an extended period of time, creating even greater tension in the hope of unpacking this dysfunction within their psyche. If this does not happen, we see that gradually, over a long period of time, the person becomes rigid, ages slowly, and ultimately dies. That is, I believe that self-development is not just about some spiritual practices, like flying off into space, standing on nails, or something else. So, I think it's specifically about the person themselves, about their life. In fact, about the possibility of in some way transforming oneself, doing something with oneself in order to become better, so that the next cycle of time brings different situational sequences, providing an opportunity to use all possibilities existing for a person. Therefore, it seems to me that it makes sense, friends, to move towards growth and development, to move towards self-development, to see what opportunities you have in this world, how you can use them, how you can interact with this world in such a way that everything gets better and better, to express oneself, so to speak. More and better, indeed creating those interactions, that will ultimately yield positive results. Well, our specialty is precisely about how to turn a problem into a resource, how it can actually be done, and whether it is possible. I say, it is possible. Yes, there are exceptions. There are different energies that truly cannot be turned into something positive. They need to be mirrored. We also have practices for this. How can you reflect energy that you cannot convert into resources? It will inevitably destroy you. But, again, to understand all these processes, you need to at least start with something. Start with the simple things. Start with some basic concepts. Understand what an empty bamboo is, what just sitting is, what meditation is. Not in the sense of widely recognized and generally accepted things, the things that people are familiar with and inquire about now. Everyone knows what the practice of meditation is or some form of self-improvement work in their daily lives. But in reality, I am saying that everything necessitates a certain level of discipline, a certain steadfastness and firmness, rigidity, and unwavering intention. However, if you do not know how to use this firmness and rigidity in the correct manner and effectively, yes, again, for yourself, it will also organize and structure your life. Friends, I am indeed telling you that self-development is the only thing a person can truly, really, genuinely engage in within this world. And in fact, he is indeed doing it, whether he wants to admit it or not, whether he actually knows it or not. The very fact of life is the accumulation of new experiences into a certain matrix of the soul, in a way that truly and deeply, into a certain system of one's own inherent potential possibilities and values, and profoundly and deeply. Every person has a certain set of predetermined potentials that they have brought from past lives. Whether they are ancestral or pre-ancestral, it doesn't matter. That is, every person already has some internal information about themselves, their lineage, and those who came before them. It's like cells, cellular memory. DNA scientists can explain it all to you. There's no escaping it. Each person is exactly as they are. And so he lives this life and gains new experiences of interacting and engaging with life, with the universe. And this experience is also embedded in these cells, in him, in various ways. That is, the offspring that will come after him, if there will be any, will carry the experience he had up to the moment someone branched off from him in different forms. If a person continues to grow and develop throughout their lifetime and then has offspring, they pass on to their cells the successful programs that worked for them, that were activated by their experiences and environment, and that gave them the opportunities to live and adapt to their surroundings in various ways. Well, accordingly, it turns out that some progressive programs, they somehow spread more, while others differently, and so on. In other words, fundamentally and essentially, the main point is that each and every single second a person continues to gain experience, continues to build potential, meaning they continue to grow and develop. The universe challenges him in various ways on all possible scenarios, or on some scenarios that he is currently going through in interaction with the world, to see how viable his programs are. In essence, there is only one game: survival. Against the backdrop of this game, those who are more progressive, those who grow and develop, those whose initiatives and programs effectively enable interaction with this world and receive benefits from the world, continue to grow. In this context, I believe that there is indeed no other energy except the energy expressed in the material plane. So, if you have truly and genuinely discovered some potential and capabilities in the financial sphere within yourself and your inner self, and start interacting with it and engaging with it, begin to develop it and nurture it. Whether through mental imagery or other techniques and methods, you are trying to use self-development techniques and strategies to do something with this potential and capability. If you see how it reflects in real life and your daily experiences, it means that your practices are working and effective, and that this potential is indeed growing and expanding. If you are indeed deeply spiritual, but in reality you are sitting, again, using some lofty terms about how this is asceticism, renunciation, that you don't need any of this because you are about spirituality. Why would you need material goods? You have renounced everything yourself. Friends, believe me, you haven't indeed given up on anything. You just don't truly know how to acquire them. You simply are missing the ability to interact with that part of your own energetic structure. That tells you that you can grow and develop in the social world, that you can receive benefits from the social world, and that you can somehow realize yourself. What does it mean to realize? It means you can do something beneficial for the world, and the world will respond to your self-expression with rewards. Yes, in the past, I worked at a factory, and during that time, I had some significant difficulties and other challenging things there. I was somehow searching for how to realize myself in this material world, trying to find a way to understand my place and purpose in life. And I understand now many people who might say, well, you got lucky, right? You're already popular, doing something, and that's why things are like this for you. In reality, believe me, friends, believe me, nothing comes from nothing. Nothing happens just like that. Everything has its reason. Everything certainly has certain foundations. In order to gain something, you must be able to definitely let go of something else. And this does not mean that you have to give up everything or completely abandon the material world in favor of some kind of spirituality. I am telling you that spirituality is energy. Energy is information, and information is the kind of experience you gain. Believe me, People with money, wealthy people, definitely gain much more experience, life experience, than a person who sits in some closed space and it's unclear what they are actually doing, although they might present it as. When discussing spiritual practices, we delve into a profound realm that includes personal and collective growth. Specifically, this involves the continuous journey of growth, development, and the intricate use of this metaverse called life. This journey is about discovering and exploring deep, often hidden layers within yourself. It involves examining your thought forms, those subtle and sometimes elusive that guide your inner experiences and perceptions. Engaging in these practices can uncover new dimensions of understanding and awareness, leading to a more enriched and meaningful existence. Internal mechanisms, call them chakras, channels, or whatever you like, are systems within you that can really help you remain more sane, more noble, more true to your word, more active, more cheerful, more alive, more genuine, more yourself. These mechanisms are essential for maintaining your mental and emotional well-being, ensuring that you stay balanced and in tune with your true self. Rather than being bogged down in these programs and structures defined for you by the social plan. Yes, I don't argue in any way. There are structures that limit people, and up to a certain point, a person does not know how to overcome them and is essentially confined, closed off as if in a certain space, because they do not know how to free themselves from these social and mental structures that affect them in any way whatsoever. There is a lot going on right now. I won't even mention it, friends. You all know it well, the internet, and especially television, and so on. There is a constant flow of information. Yes, information with subconscious content, various NLP programs, various brainwashing programs, like advertisements and so on, telling you what to do. Direct hypnosis, do it this way. That is, nowadays, wherever you go, or whatever you open, there is some kind of immediate impact. If you don't understand how this definitely affects you, and believe me, it does affect you, everything affects you, and when you hear the same thing 10,000 times, you will go into a store, you will pick up a blind mat. Do you know why? Because you have heard it 10,000 times, and naturally, you will choose it. This means that if you cannot completely discard others' neurolinguistic programs and construct your own within yourself, fundamentally speaking, expecting your genetic background to be truly progressive, expecting that you will truly grow and develop an essence, achieve some self-realization as well as success. I think these are incomparable things. In reality, it's really quite simple. If you have truly found informational structures within yourself that are deeply embedded within your psyche and that reflect some part of your life in various aspects and dimensions, and you can actually work with these structures in a way that is meaningful and impactful, change them, modify them to a significant degree, then you are the king and god of your inner world. Now, try to imagine a big white monkey with its wet lips glistening and shiny in the light. Well, there it is, right in front of you, and you don't even need to. Try not to think about it now, right, but there it is again, popping up in your mind. So the inner world is a very interesting, complex, and intricate system with certain boundaries, rules, and laws that govern how we think and perceive things, and how we perceive and interpret the world around us. If you comprehend them, if you know how to bring order to your inner world, then you know how to avoid thinking about things in such a manner that you don't need to think about, or how to make sure to remember and think about what must not be forgotten. These are very important processes. These are very important. This is diamonds, yes, knowledge. And for many people, it is still unclear. Yes, that knowledge is power. That knowledge is such a power that can truly give a person great opportunities. Knowledge, in its essence, is a form of power that can open doors to numerous possibilities and provide significant advantages in various aspects of life. It is this power of knowledge that can truly transform lives and create endless opportunities for those who possess it, which can truly and deeply give a person what nothing else can. It is knowledge, the intricate and profound understanding of oneself and the complexities of the world around, and the myriad experiences that shape our existence, that is the sole purpose of life. This is what you live for. And the techniques and practices that can bring you into balance, that can truly help you bring order within yourself. That is our task and practices and techniques. This is what I have been doing for over 20 years. This is what I can offer. This is the personal experience I can share. It works for me, but you can decide for your own self. Meditate with us and participate in our various interesting and informative seminars, lectures, and retreats. Goodbye, everyone.